If you watched the previous video in this series, you now understand what happens in your body during a prolonged water fast. You understand the fuel transition, the activation of autophagy, the immune recalibration, the depth of cellular repair that becomes possible when the body is given the conditions it needs. In this video, we want to go deeper into the science. We want to share with you the philosophy that guides everything that we do. Not just the what of water fasting, but the why. The framework through which we understand illness and healing and the body's own extraordinary intelligence. The reason we have devoted our clinical lives to this practice. We want to offer you a way of thinking about your own body that may be different from what you have encountered elsewhere. Not because it is the only valid framework, but because it is the one that, in our experience, gives patients the most accurate understanding of what is actually happening during a prolonged fast and the most honest foundation for deciding whether this is the right path for you. It begins with a question that seems simple and is actually profound. What is the body really? Your body is not broken. That may seem like a simple thing to say, but for someone who has been navigating a serious illness, who has sat in the physician's office and heard frightening words and been handed treatment plans designed to fight something inside their own body, those 4 words can feel like something they have been waiting for to hear for a very long time. The vitalistic tradition, which is the philosophical foundation of everything that we do here at Sedona Wellness Retreat, begins with a radical and well-supported premise. The human body possesses an innate intelligence that is always working towards health. Not sometimes, not in the right circumstances, always. Every moment of your life, at every level of your biology, from the most fundamental cellular processes to the most complex systemic coordination, your body is working on your behalf. Illness, through this lens, is not a malfunction. It is not the body failing or turning against itself. It is a signal, a profound, urgent, intelligent signal that the conditions for cellular health have been disrupted and that something needs to change. Cancer, autoimmune disease, chronic inflammation. These are not enemies that have invaded from the outside. They are the body's intelligent response to conditions that are no longer supporting health. Change the conditions and you change the response. That shift in understanding from the body as battlefield to the body as an intelligent partner is the foundation of vitalistic medicine. And it changes everything about how we approach the profound practice of prolonged water fasting. We do not heal the body heals itself. We create the conditions in which that healing becomes not just possible, but inevitable. To understand the vitalistic approach, it helps to contrast it with the framework that dominates most of modern medicine. What philosophers of medicine call the mechanistic model. The mechanistic model is powerful. It has produced extraordinary tools, surgery, pharmacology, diagnostics that would have seemed miraculous to physicians a century ago. We respect those tools and we work alongside them. But the mechanistic model begins with a premise about the body that vitalistic medicine considers incomplete. It sees the body as an extraordinarily complex machine, one whose components can break down and whose breakdowns can be diagnosed and repaired by applying the correct external intervention. Under this model, the physician's role is to identify the malfunction and correct it. The vitalistic model begins somewhere different. It sees the body as living, self-organizing, intelligently self-regulating system, more like an ecosystem than a machine. An ecosystem that, given the right conditions, tends powerfully towards health. Under this model, the physician's role is not to apply external corrections, but to remove the obstacles and create the conditions that allows the body's own intelligence to express itself fully. Both frameworks have truth in them, but for the specific context of prolonged water fasting, a practice in which the body does the most fundamental healing work from within, guided by its own biological intelligence, the vitalistic framework is the one that makes sense of what we actually observe. Here are some questions asked with the vitalistic approach versus the mechanistic approach. First question is, what is the body? An intelligent, self-organizing system with an innate drive toward health versus a complex machine that breaks down and requires external repair. What is illness? A signal that the body's self-regulating conditions have been disrupted, a request for restoration, versus a malfunction to be corrected by the right intervention. What is a physician's role? To create the conditions in which the body's own intelligence can express itself fully, versus to diagnose the malfunction and apply the correct external correction. What is fasting? The removal of the demands that prevent the body from healing itself, the creation of the conditions for its deepest work, versus caloric restriction, a temporary dietary intervention with measurable metabolic effects. What does healing look like? The process that unfolds from within, guided by the body's own intelligence at its own pace, versus measurable improvements in specific biomarkers in response to applied treatment. What is our primary trust? The body's innate healing intelligence, given the right conditions, versus the intervention's proven mechanism of action. What is the goal of water fasting? To remove every obstacle and provide every condition so the body can do what it already knows how to do, versus to induce specific physiological states, ketosis, autophagy, with documented therapeutic effects. Our approach to water fasting is built on 6 vitalistic principles. Each one has deep roots in both ancient tradition and modern integrative science, and each one expresses itself in a specific observable way during the experience of a prolonged fast. Principle 1, the healing power of nature. The oldest principle in Western medicine, named by Hippocrates and carried through every major healing tradition since. The body possesses an innate healing power that is always working towards restoration, equilibrium, and health. The physician's primary role is to support this power, not to override it. This is not a belief. It is an observation that has been made by every serious clinical tradition across human history. In fasting, the principle is expressed with extraordinary clarity. When food is removed, the body does not become helpless. It becomes more resourceful. It directs the enormous biological resources normally devoted to digestion, which is estimated of 30 to 40% of the body's total metabolic budget, towards the healing work it has been trying to do. The fast does not heal the body. It gives the body's own healing intelligence the space and the resources to do what it always was designed to do. Principle 2, find and remove the cause. Vitalistic medicine is not content to suppress symptoms. Its foundational clinical directive, remove the cause, asks the deeper questions. What conditions are preventing the body from being well? What inputs, what burdens, what accumulated disruptions to the terrain of the cellular health have created the conditions for illness? Addressing these upstream causes rather than managing their downstream expressions is the vitalistic physician's primary task. In fasting, a prolonged water fast is at the fundamental level, the most complete application of treating the cause available. It removes temporarily but profoundly the most constant, the most significant input the body receives, food. In doing so, it removes the digestive burden, the inflammatory inputs, the endocrine signaling of eating, and the metabolic demands of processing calories, giving the body's repair system an unobstructed window to work in. The fast does not treat the cause directly. It removes every obstacle between the body's intelligence and its ability to address the cause itself. All right, principle 3, first do no harm. The most widely known principle of medical ethics is also a distinctly vitalistic one. Before any intervention, ensure that it does not create harm greater than the condition it addresses. In a vitalistic practice, this principle extends beyond avoiding obvious harms to a more demanding standard. Does this intervention support the body's own intelligence, or does it interfere with it? An intervention that suppresses a symptom while impairing the body's healing capacity fails this standard, even if it produces short-term relief. Water fasting, properly supervised, is one of the most purely non-harmful healing practices available. Nothing introduced into the body, no pharmaceutical compounds, no external substances, no interventions that could create unintended downstream effects. The body is given water, rest, and the conditions of stillness. The only thing being done is the removal of inputs and the creation of space. In this sense, supervised fasting is the purest possible expression of we are doing less, so that the body can do more. Next, principle 4, treat the whole person. Vitalistic medicine insists that illness cannot be understood or addressed by focusing only on the part of the body that appears to be malfunctioning. The whole person, body, mind, spirit, relationships, emotional history, life circumstances is the context in which illness arises and in which healing must occur. The field of psychoneuroimmunology has now established in modern science language that vitalistic physicians have observed clinically for centuries. The emotional, the physiological state of a patient's directly and measurable effects of immune function, inflammatory response, and healing capacity. In fasting, a prolonged water fast at Sedona Wellness Retreat is a whole person experience. The body is fasting, but the mind is also entering a period of unusual clarity. Many guests described as a specific quality of mental and emotional transparency that arrives in the extended fasting state, as if a constant background noise of feeding and planning and managing energy has quieted enough for something deeper to be heard. The spirit is also offered something, the experience of trusting one's own body, of being still, of discovering that one can inhabit a more fundamental level of existence than ordinary life allows. We support all three dimensions every day of the fast. Next, principle 5, doctor as teacher. The word doctor comes from the Latin meaning to teach. In the naturopathic tradition, the physician's role is not only to treat, but to educate, to give the patient a genuine understanding of their own condition and the principles of their own health so that they can be an active, informed participant in their healing rather than a passive recipient of care. An empowered patient who understands what is happening in their body makes better decisions, stays more committed to their healing process, and continues their healing after the clinical encounter ends. In fasting, every day of the fast is an education. Our physicians explain what is happening in the body during each phase. Our guides help guests understand and interpret what they are experiencing. Our kitchen team teaches the principles of nutritional medicine so guests can continue supporting their health after they leave. And the fast itself teaches someone that no classroom can, the direct, personal, embodied knowledge of what it means to live in a body that is healing itself. That knowledge, once gained, changes the relationship between guest and body permanently. All right, principle 6, prevention and the optimization of health. Vitalistic medicine does not wait for illness to appear before engaging with health. Its orientation is toward the ongoing optimization of conditions that support well-being. The terrain of health makes the disease unlikely and healing natural. This orientation toward prevention and optimization, rather than the crisis response alone, is what distinguishes vitalistic clinical practice from purely reactive medicine. In fasting, many guests come to our water fasting program not because they are currently ill, but because they understand, often intuitively, sometimes from research, that a profound periodic cellular reset supports the kind of long-term health that chronic feeding never allows. The autophagy activated during extended fasting clears the accumulated cellular damage that over time drives aging and disease. The immune reset reduces the chronic low-grade inflammation that underlines most chronic conditions. The metabolic recalibration restores insulin sensitivity and metabolic flexibility. Guests who fast with us regularly describe it as the most powerful health preservation practice they found. We want to be clear about how our approach to prolonged water fasting sits within the broader framework of naturopathic medicine and what naturopathic medicine means in this specific context. Naturopathic medicine brings together the best evidence from conventional medicine, naturopathic medicine, nutritional science, and other validated healing traditions to address the whole person. It does not reject conventional care. It asks, what else does this person need beyond what conventional medicine is offering to heal as completely as possible? In the context of our water fasting program, naturopathic medicine means several specific things. It means that your fast is medically supervised, not by a wellness guide, but by licensed physicians who understand both the vitalistic philosophy and the conventional clinical picture. It means that we review your entire health history before designing your specific fasting protocol. It means that we are willing to adjust, modify, or conclude your fast at any point if your body's signals tell us that it is the right thing to do. And it means that we hold both truths simultaneously, the vitalistic truth that your body knows how to heal, and the conventional truth that the process of healing requires monitoring, expertise, and the willingness to act when action is needed. The combination of these two truths, deep trust in the body's intelligence and rigorous clinical oversight of the process, is what makes our program not just philosophically coherent, but genuinely safe. We trust the body, and we verify that trust every day with the tools of modern medicine, that is naturopathic vitalistic care. All right, up next, you're gonna hear from a real past guest, someone who came to the program with skepticism about the vitalistic framework and left with genuine conviction.
Done enough research that I felt that the fasting therapy would be what would help me completely do a complete reset of my body, especially break the sugar addiction. Because I have a sweet tooth and I'm used to having to, in the past I would have dessert, but lunch and breakfast. Lunch and dinner. Well, sometimes I'd even start with breakfast. And so I knew that needed to be broken. And I figured the best way to do that would be through an immersion, especially as I had done my research. I wanted a beautiful environment to be around. I didn't want it to be an institution. And then on January 1st, I started the fast. And I remember Dr. Wright telling me, he said, your body will tell you when it's time to, whenever it's finished. And I think it was day 22 when I really felt the breakthrough, that I knew something was really happening. Well, number one, I'm completely off of all of my medications. That was after the first week. My blood pressure was even on medication, and I was on 2 different blood pressure medications when I arrived. So I knew I needed to do it. And within 1 week of being here, number one, those numbers were dropping. And now I am a high day is like 120, and my bottom number is usually in the 70s. So it's back to normal for me, because for so many years it was normal. And then the biggest thing that I did while I was here, I've lost 36 pounds. I'm almost to 37 pounds in 7 weeks. For the long term, I've made a decision. It's time for me to learn this and do it. So that's the biggest thing that I've come out of it, is understanding that the food is my medicine. Because my results, my daily check-in results, whenever it comes in to my weight, into my blood pressure, into my body temperature, and to my oxygen levels and everything, the difference is the water fast and the changing of my food. And the charts speak for themselves with regard to my results.
Yeah. We want to close this video with something honest, something that we think you deserve to hear plainly. What we are asking you to trust when you consider a prolonged water fast with us is not a belief system. It is not an alternative. It is not the rejection of everything medicine has learned. It is something more fundamental than any of those things. We are asking you to trust your body, not blindly, not without the support of a medical team that has supervised thousands of extended fasts and knows what to watch for and what to do. Not without monitoring and the expertise and the responsive clinical judgment that makes extended fasting profoundly safe rather than risky, but genuinely with the kind of trust that comes from understanding, from knowing, as you now do, what the body does during a prolonged fast and why it does. From understanding that the discomfort of the early days is the fuel transition, not a sign of something that is wrong. That the clarity of the middle days is the body in its deepest state of self-directed repair. That the rest you are asked to take during the fast is not passivity, but the most active healing your biology can produce. We have watched the trust deepen over the course of a fast into something that the guests carry home with them, and that changes how they live in their own bodies for the rest of their lives. That is what we're offering. And we believe with everything that we know and everything we have witnessed that your body is worthy of it.